Good afternoon, everybody. My name is James Jimmy Hills, and you are here with Dr. Brandy and I for DeeDee's Cry presents 5 at 5 with Dr. Brandy and Jimmy as well. So we are here with you this Friday. It is Good Friday, Dr. Brandy. How are you today?
I am good. I'm good because it's Good Friday, y'all.
Happy Good Friday.
And so, in the spirit and the vein of Good Friday, we thought we'd talk to y'all a little bit today about religion and spirituality and the mental health impacts, right? Because, I mean, religion, spirituality, it's all about understanding the meaning of life. There being some type of higher power, right? And so, spirituality, religion, it gives us something to believe in. It provides sense of structure, and it offers an opportunity, particularly in the socially distant world we're in right now, to connect with others through your beliefs. Virtually,
Yep.
virtually right now.
On
Not
Sunday.
not in the pulpit, virtually. But you know, it's important. Like spirituality and religion is important to our mental health and maintaining our mental health. And so let's talk about it. Right, Jen?
I definitely want to talk about it as someone who grew up in Christianity, and oftentimes, you know, it was often presented, just pray about it. And now I've evolved into a sense of prayer, and also sometimes there's that belief in there, you know, religion has a faith component to it. So we believe in Christianity, you know, you go up to the front to the altar, someone prays. My thing is, yes, God does the miracle of healing you from your mental health issues, but maybe the way you sustain your mental health is to go lay on somebody's black couch to help you.
Yes. Yes.
And God these gifts, like you're trained to help people work through things that they may not feel okay about. And while faith is a good thing, sometimes you need to talk to somebody right here on earth.
Yes. And, you know, I mean, again, I'm part of the Christian Baptist Methodist background. That's, you know, my faith center. But, you know, as James was mentioning, you know, faith without works is dead. And so, yes, you can believe, you can pray, and you can say, I want to be well. I need to be well for me and for my family, but you have to work at it. It's a process. You can pray and an answer be given to you, but unless you maintain that, you may fall back to where you were when you began.
And you need people like yourself and others, family members. And we're talking from a faith standpoint today. So while all of our faith leaders may not be trained to be mental health providers, they are typically well versed with listening and maybe just offering you some different perspectives and ideas. So faith, spirituality, I agree, Dr. Brandy, is a huge part of our mental health, sustaining wellness. And for some people that deal with mental illness, faith is their, like they say in politics, faith is the destination, but the doorway may be through a licensed clinical therapist. Let's just keep that 100.
Yeah, it may be. I mean, for some, you may need clinical supports, right? You know, you may be praying on it and fasting and doing those things, and yet you still are hearing the voices, and yet you still can't sleep at night, and yet you still stress and have anxiety. And so you may need to consult therapy. You may need to even consult medication, depending on your situation. So others can do non-therapeutic things, you know, going outside, listening to music, connecting with others. We can do all those things. But the important thing is really to think about, how does your faith or spirituality, how do you use it to help with your mental health? So, you know, type in the chat box and tell us, send us videos, send us recordings. Let us know, like, how do you use faith? Again, it's Good Friday, 5 at 5. Tell us how you use faith and spirituality to connect and to cope and to, you know, provide that structure and predictability for you.
I know one of the things that from a faith standpoint for me is, and a lot of people do this as well, there's the concept of praise and worship. And oftentimes when we're dealing with issues, I find myself with some go-to gospel songs. And then sometimes when I celebrating, there's certain songs I go to, and you said Baptist and Methodist. I grew up in the Pentecostal apostolic persuasion, so we kind of
Y'all was in church all the time.
all the time, speaking in tongues, drums, dancing, tambourine, and all of that. And and really, I used to joke about that, but a lot of times in that practice of dancing around, for a lot of people, that used to be a release. They done went through hell all week, and they get to church on Sunday. You know what I mean? So it is, different thoughts around that. But I think that it was important today that we talk, and yes, it's apropos, for Good Friday, but it is apropos to really consider spirituality and faith when you're talking about your mental health wellness or addressing mental health illness.
Absolutely. And one thing to think about too is, because for some people, faith and spirituality can be negative depending on the church and the congregation you're part of, because you may feel, I'm suffering, I'm struggling, but nobody here has been able to talk to me about it. Nobody here acknowledges it. And so it's important too to understand where you are in your process of healing and finding hope. And so it may be you need to change churches, change denominations, because you still have your beliefs, but the place you are in and the space you are in may not be welcoming and supportive to what you need. And so that's something to think about too.
And I think that's similar as we get ready to wrap up. Let's be 100 and say that's similar also to a therapist. If people have equated it to dating, so you may need to, oftentimes, old folks and church folks used to call it church hopping, but you find some place where you're comfortable. And I mean, you got all type of different options today. Virtually, you can go to church in Tennessee, you can go to church in Dallas, you can go to church in
anywhere. You can go anywhere.
Yeah. So listen, Friday. Every Friday at 5, we are here. Today, we're talking about spirituality. It is Good Friday. And so to those that practice the Christian faith, we are acknowledging that today is Good Friday, but also in acknowledging today is Good Friday, we need to acknowledge that spirituality can be a contributor and also supporter of our mental health, sustaining well.
Yes. Whatever you practice, whatever you believe, tell us, let us know. How does it help you? How does it support you? This week, today, and on any day of the year, how are you supported through your spirituality, your faith, and how does it help you with your mental health? So tune in next week.
Tune in next week for the next Friday at 5. And before we go, we just want to do a quick shameless plug, along with the tips that you're getting here around general mental health status every Friday for 5 minutes at 5 o'clock. Please tune in every Saturday at 11 a.m. as DeeDee's Cry also sponsors children's social and emotional support with Miss Crystal and Jimmy on DeeDee's Cry page every Saturday at 11 a.m. And we also want to acknowledge the great staff and team at DeeDee's Cry. Please remember, if you want to support DeeDee's Cry, you can go to deedescry.com, or if you would like to send a donation, please send it to the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute and put in the memo for DeeDee's Cry, and they will gladly process your donation for you. So thank you for tuning in today. We will be back next Friday at 5 p.m. for 5 minutes of tips and tricks to help you sustain your mental health wellness. And if you have some mental health or mental illness issues, to give you some advice there. Right, Dr. B?
That's right. See y'all next week.
We'll see y'all next week. Thank you.